Christian board of whatever that he put that
Yeah,
televangelist in
I
charge
have more
of?
of a connection to it than you think.
Okay. So, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying, but so his goal was to bring back, when you mix God and state or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
his goal was to do that. Now, if you think about the move that just happened, this is I don't want to say that, let's just say the Star of David group.
You're trying to take us to Jericho.
But my point that I'm getting at is, this is the Star of David. This is not Christianity. Now, who owns the banks?
Not who you think.
Well, who owned the Federal Reserve?
Not who you think.
I thought that was England, but that was based off of the Rothschilds and what's the name? Aren't they the Star of David?
It's not that simple and not that easy. Yes, in the beginning, London was a tax haven back before it was cool. Like,
my point that I'm getting at is, biblically, when we're talking about Israel, we're not talking about the same Israel. This Israel started in the 30s or something, or the 50s?
Are you talking about Zionism or accelerationism? Because those are two different things.
I don't know those damn 5-point words. No, what I'm saying is
all the way
the Israel, like if you're looking at Masonically, the second verse,
the Messianic Jews.
I'll just say this: in the second verse, as a let's just say a second degree, there is a passage where God says, "I will not pass by my people Israel anymore." Right? That Israel is not the same one that's wilding out right now. So if you're looking at it from a Christianity perspective, we're not talking about the same Israel. Why are we rocking with that one?
Okay, can I explain what I said?
It's bread.
Let me explain what I was trying to say earlier, man. Let me try to explain what I was trying to say here, because because you'll hear it a lot. You'll hear Zionists. You'll hear accelerationists. Zionists are people who believe that Israel deserves a home state where the Holy Land is, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to create that place, right? And that sucks. That means they're willing to do whatever. Accelerationists are Zionists on crack, right? They are willing to do whatever brings about the world's end and Jesus' second coming.
Yes,
which is a part of letting Israel reclaim their home state. So you need to actually,
in the Bible.
So the things that you are worried about, you need to follow them, follow that to the end. And that's what people, there are literally billionaires who are accelerationists. They're like, fuck it, let's let it burn because I'm tired of being here.
Y'all saw Mission Impossible.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you need, I'm not saying anything that you're saying is wrong, Bricks. At all. I'm just saying, which ultimate conclusion are you speaking upon? You see what I'm saying? And so the thing is,
I just know this, man. Them jokers over there in Palestine, they set it off. But with what returned, let me show you how I feel about that. Somebody should have stepped in and said, all right, enough is enough, y'all.
They did it with a backhoe, a tractor, and a couple of AKs. That's what happened. And in return, they leveled the entire existence of them. You know what I mean? They broke a wall with industrial equipment, ran through and shot folks. Not a great thing.
The thing that I always loved about my idea of America, which is part of the reason why I became a soldier, was I thought that we were a nation of compassion. And the reason why I'll say that is because on every CAC card of every soldier, and I know this because I have one, we follow the Geneva Convention, right? We follow the Geneva Convention, which means when others do dirty stuff, we do our best to play fair. Now, does America always? No, I've seen, but for the most part, we lead with the Geneva Convention. So you're not going to see us as a group of like if a platoon or a battalion goes somewhere, we're not hiding in a hospital. You know, we're not hiding in schools. We're not using people as shields. We don't do stuff like that. But I always thought we were a nation of compassion. And so as opposed to backing somebody that's doing something like this, look, I get it. They did some fucked up shit, bro. There is no hiding behind what Palestine did. Palestine was dirty. But it's like, okay, this ain't an eye for an eye, yo. They took your eye and you took their country, bro. Like you know, was
the
you out for
repercussions were disproportionate.
Yeah, yo. And then now my sweet America is going at Iran. Like,
yo,
when Hayes was playing that.
We bombed Iraq for tubes.
When Hayes was playing that video earlier, clearly I could read the title on the screen. I knew that there was a bomb. I understood that. But I wanted to know exactly what they did, because when our president started speaking, he was talking, but then he started saying things about lethal. Mm-hmm. And what I want to know is what actually happened. Not just what we see in his speech or what we might see on a news source. I'm talking about what I don't think this country understands, and it can come down to immigration and all of that. But let's just say immigration. When you're separating children from parents, you are creating that T term that everybody hates. So when I say what actually happened, imagine those little ones that survived and their parents did not survive. You have created a nation of Osama bin Laden. That's what you do every time we do
self-fulfilling prophecies. And this is what we're doing. We're doing a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every time we do interjectionism or interventionism, every time we drop bombs on people who don't deserve it to the degree that we're doing it, every time that we put ourselves in a fight that ain't even ours, people are just like, yo, these US people are bullies. And we're creating the problem that we're supposedly fighting. That is ridiculous. When most of the things that happen to us are from us. And I need people who are watching right now to look up the racial identity of most domestic terrorists, and it will blind you.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, this wasn't even supposed to be the.
We back live too, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been working on it over here. I was working on it.
I've been watching it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was working on it. We're back. Fortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately. But it's a new stream, so we lost everybody that was there. So hopefully,
that's all right. We got 10 back.
Yeah, we got a few of them back. So if you're just coming back into the show, make sure you hit the like button. I'm not sure what happened before we started talking about Bonnie Blue and Andrew Tate, and things went haywire. Apparently, one of the simps that was in that 1057 must have reported the stream. I don't know. I don't know.
No, are you talking about her being banned? No, she's being banned because she was about to do a glass box thing on the street. Anybody could come up and smash.
Who is doing that? That's what
she was going to do that.
No. I'm not talking about her. She can do what she wants. It's her body. She can do what she wants. What I'm saying is, what dude is just randomly walking up the street?
This is what I was talking about off stream. I'm like, we were blaming the wrong person. We need to blame all of these mass dudes who show up. Yeah. Like, that's not a good look.
Yeah, they need to stop that.
Don't do that.
Well,
hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up now. I do understand what you're saying, but I will say this. If the garage door is closed, I'm not trying to park my car there. But if the parking garage says there's plenty of vacancies here and today we're not charging, I'm going in there so I can go into the mall.
You are disgusting. That is absolutely horrible metaphor.
It is horrible, but my point is, why are you like, all right, so hold up.
Y'all heard
so a guy walks up and he can't normally get his needs satisfied, and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you $50 in here to be number 1002."
None of these guys are being paid.
Nope.
So fix that. Fix that analogy.
They're not being
paid.
I
don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do it no more.
No.
I don't want to do it.
They are not
That's what
being paid.
what she should have said.
I don't want no.
None of them are being paid.
I'm
dog.
not gonna condemn any. Okay, well let's look at it like this: a girl has, or a female has a what's that damn? No. What's that app? Tinder. A female has a Tinder. A male has a Tinder.
Are you gonna do the lock the key metaphor?
No, I don't know what that is.
No, the
one
lock
you
and the
said.
key. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was dope. No, but a female has a Tinder, a male has a Tinder account, right? A male puts up his little stats or whatever that, and tries to, and he doesn't get anybody for months. A female, her shit is off the chain. Spammers and real dudes is blowing the fuck up. Okay?
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna fault some low life dude who can't get a girl that somebody says, hey, here's a glass box. You want to get your rocks off? You got 30 seconds, bro. And we're condemning him? Is that what we're doing here on the purge of the bullshit?
Yeah, because that is bullshit. We're purging that bullshit.
Yes. 100%.
Discipline, gentlemen. Discipline.
100%. Yes.
Oh my God.
You are not old. You are not old box.
Bricks is just
wash
joking.
your body.
He don't mean
get off your chair. Work out and go get your own box. You know what I mean? It's not owed to you.
But what if he's living without two friends?
You know what?
Then you know what? Get a better job and get some. You're not old.
He doesn't have a
What if his breath smells like tricky wisdom too?
No.
You are not old ass. That's how Diddy got in the problem in the first place.
Bro, again, you're talking from the perspective of a respectable member of society.
Wait. So where do you draw the line?
This is crazy.
You draw the line at a random woman in a box on the street. There's a line.
So look, you over there caping for people who just need to get better. So we need to set a line.
Well, you know what?
The line is drawn.
You know
this
what?
is disgusting.
You know what? I agree. Then in the spirit of Andrew Tate, I'm going to agree with you, Bravo. You know what? She's perfect. The men are the pieces of shit.
I mean, what about Amsterdam? Because they be over
I've been to Amsterdam 9 times, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
Have.
Uh-oh.
No, but I didn't. I'm not saying that I did that, but I'm saying I've been there 9 times.
You got some street box?
No. I don't know. Look, I'm going to speak to what Genesis said because she makes a great point. And this is the point that Americans might not understand. Over there, it's not seen like we see it. And I'll explain. I was standing in the red light district my first time I went to Amsterdam. No, because it's not something that, like just pervs do. Everybody that goes to Amsterdam walks through the red light district. No. You don't end up there, but you walk through there. You can see like the Rembrandt Museum. It's right around the corner. Like it's literally everything. They have a sex museum that's there. Like this is not uncommon. And the reason why it's not uncommon is because overseas people don't look at sexual activity like some, what's the word? I can't remember the word, but like taboo thing.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like they literally in Amsterdam, they have sex shows where there's a whole crowd full of people watching people.
But they're not viral, but they might. That's basically
they're doing like 2 or 3 people.
Right.
They're doing 2 or 3 people on a stage in front of a whole crowd. But that's not the point. The point is if it's an environment that doesn't look at sex the way that Americans do. Because remember, most of the way we think was based on how the Puritans and the Pilgrims started this crap.
No. That is not how I'm looking at it. What I'm looking at when I say blame the participants, not Bonnie, is that the thing is that I don't want anything that has been used more than 200 times in the same day before I get it.
I'm glad you said that. So now, this is what I will tell you. Three of my battle buddies were standing next to me in the red light district, and there was a woman standing there that looked just like Jennifer Lopez, right? A guy walks up. Hear me out. Because we're standing there next to one of, what do you call them, buskers? The people that like perform. Street performers over in Amsterdam are amazing. This guy's playing like this little rubber band thing, like, and he's got like a big ass freaking kick drum on his back with a foot pedal that's kicking the kick drum, and then like on his left foot, the snare. it was crazy. But look, this girl standing there, this guy walks up. We think that he is her pimp.
Okay, guys.
And as it what?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't mean to disturb, but yeah, we got hit for ad suitability. That's what it was.
Dang.
Because we were talking about this. Because this exact topic.
Well,
is
all right. Well,
just
let me finish. I'm not going to go crazy.
Let me
with it.
finish.
I
is what they said to
You know
Bonnie
what?
Blue.
That's what Diddy said. That's
Listen,
what Diddy said.
hear me out so I don't forget. I have been drinking. All right. Anyway, what I'm saying is the guy that was standing there next to her ended up being her boyfriend. So everybody's like, you don't mind this? And he was like,
no,
this is her job.
They making their money.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
that
one of
is the
those.
difference between America and other countries. And here's another example. When I moved to Germany with the army, when I first got over there to Germany, the first thing they told us in Head Start, after they taught us how to speak a little bit in German to order food and stuff, was that the drinking age was 18 years old and the legal age for a female was 16 years old. That's Germany.
What?
That's Germany. And so imagine, like how they looked at the R. Kelly thing.
That's a lot
We
of
look
countries.
at it like it's disgusting. Yes, it is. We look at it like it's disgusting, but over there they're like, why is he in the American prison? What has he done wrong? I don't understand.
Not for real.
So things are different based off of what our society says or our standard. So even Andrew Tate, he's using her, he's manipulating her to kind of try to prove his point. But at the end of the day, if they don't feel the same way we feel about sexual activity, okay, she did 1,000 people.
All right, well, I got to get to our other pimp story.
Next,
Okay.
Diddy.
Well, no,
As if that wasn't
it wasn't
enough.
even that. Exactly. So we're here now.
How many pimps we got here? Dang it.
Hey, this is the
Are
downfall
we
of the
counting
Deviants.
me or not counting me?
This is the downfall of the Deviants episode, so it's nothing but pimps. All pimps all
I
day.
mean, for crying out loud, Nicki Minaj has a song called Truffle Butter.
And we're going to talk about Nicki.
And we're
Explain
Gotta do that.
surprised.
We don't even gotta go there.
We're surprised that these girls are.
We're not. We're not going to do it. We're getting. I've
I don't
never
understand. I don't
I've
understand
never
the
had
reference.
Look, let me tell
Does
you
it
what.
take a pig to sniff it out?
It's gonna be
Like,
so
what-
many community strikes after this.
Yo, let me just tell you what's funny is I've never had them hit me for ad suitability during the live. They never done it during the
They're watching.
They literally.
Oh, that's because we started talking about David. I said that.
No, I'm telling
no,
you.
it was
I'm
Bonnie
telling
Blue.
you. I think it's
It was Bonnie Blue.
no. No,
was
I
Bonnie.
believe
They
it
didn't
was
tell
the-
you a reason?
No, it was
I
Bonnie
believe
Blue.
it was the.
Oh wow.
I believe it was the Prez. I believe it was the
Nah,
Prez.
that was way earlier
That's
in
the
the
first-
episode. It was the Bonnie Blue.
Yeah, but
thing.
that's when they got to us.
No. This was when I restarted the stream. So the original
Oh,
one,
yes.
it got
Just
cut
now.
off. Then when I restarted it and we kept talking about it, it hit me with a thing saying, this is
Oh.
limited ad suitability. Right off the top. I've never had them do that joint. That's crazy. Okay. Well, we're going to move to our next pimp. It is,
Yeah,
it
we
is
can't
what it
talk.
is.
We can't talk about Hoosiers
No,
minus
we are-
the sh.
We are here. Okay? We're on the street now, man. We are on the street with the pimps. It is what it is. All right?
We can do it.
No, we're doing
can
it.
talk?
It's already happening. At this point, I'm not stopping. I'm going all
Every
the
street
way
worker
in.
heard that before.
I'm going all the way in. Hold on a second here. Now I got to bring up my screen here. Hold on.
Yeah, why does he look like JD Vance's baby cousin?
He really does. He looks
All
like
right,
Blaze One.
Let me make sure I got my.
He's got
I
kind
deserve this.
eyes.
Everybody bald.
There we go.
I deserve this chance. I've had sex with 2.5 women.
All right. Well, this story. let me bring up the story here.
2.5 women.
Well, man.
Okay. 1 second here.
Don't talk like that. I have a family.
All right, so this is basically the story is a guy was flossing on the internet about being a pimp. And
I swear on my wife's boyfriend.
and
I'm
ended
for
up
real.
ended up getting arrested. So we're gonna go into the pimps. Okay, you guys ready? You ready for your pimps?
That's new.
All right, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button. We are really fighting the algorithm tonight, but I'm having fun with it. That's how I know they're paying attention. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Molly and Preston, Bellevue police say this all started out as a routine patrol call where a couple of officers thought something didn't quite look right. That led to prosecutors saying they were able to take down a vicious pimp who was abusing a woman and selling her for sex work while keeping the money for himself.
Tonight, baby.
So trying to tell me leave alone?
On social media,
It's trying to tell me leave money alone.
Cedric Dorsey painted himself as a pimp
Why I'm a pimp?
with money, swagger, and influence.
Swagger.
But investigators say his lifestyle was built by forced sex work, as Dorsey trafficked a woman into prostitution in Seattle, Bellevue, Kent, and Las Vegas.
One woman?
It all came undone in 2024 when Bellevue police responded to a
you've seen
domestic
Hustle
violence
before.
call involving Dorsey
We've
and his
seen what Bonnie
victim.
Blue can
They
do, so.
listened to what that victim was telling them and realized things weren't just adding up for her and what she was saying and that she was in a very dangerous situation.
Bellevue Police Major Ellen Inman says patrol officers noticed signs of trafficking and called detectives.
When you ask them questions, they're answering repeatedly in these kind of scripted or answers that sound like they're rehearsed. When they served the search warrant on his premise, they recovered $12,000 in cash, along with those 3 firearms, one of which was stolen, and a banned firearm.
King County prosecutors hit Dorsey with charges of human trafficking, promoting prostitution, and unlawful possession of a firearm.
We see very significant
ain't even the
violence,
real crime. This
strangulation,
ain't even the real
beatings,
crime. I'll tell you
assaults.
Prosecutor Brayla McGinnis tried Dorsey's case where his own social media posts were used as evidence, including this one about the 304 oath, where prostitutes promise not to cooperate with police and say they aren't victims.
One of the biggest rules of the game is not to talk to police. It is that idea of selling the dream, right? Saying, I have these nice things. If you come with me, you can have all of this, right? And when you're talking to someone who has had a very rough upbringing or a very troubled life, that's the vulnerability that they exploit.
Bingo.
That's the way I look at social media and the use of different ways that people advertise their criminal
that's the
activity,
target.
is that if you make it available for the Bellevue Police Department in this case to access and use as part of our
So can
lawful
a woman
investigation,
access
then that's what
these
we will
things
do.
without
After being found
trafficked?
guilty.
Can a woman access what things?
We
without
understand
being
what's going
trafficked?
on with him.
This
We
dream that
understand what's going on
they're
with him.
talking about, because it seems to be the biggest thing that everyone's talking about is all these different pimps that are getting sentenced and all these things that are happening. Is like, really, is it trafficking, or are we being sold a dream that's not attainable? And so women are selling their bodies because that's the only thing that they have to them.
Some
See,
women.
now, on the back of what you just said, it ties into what we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
Yes, we need to get the criminal, the actual pimpernel. You know, that's what pimp stands for. But anyway, the actual pimp. We need to get him. However, there wouldn't be any of these people if we solved the issue. You know, if we had in-home visits, we had actual people, interventionists who would stop these vulnerable women from being actually put on to these streets. You know what I mean? If we actually address that.
But that's why we
need
have
to address.
OnlyFans, because it
Yeah,
can
but
be federally
this is what-
regulated.
But this is what I'm saying. Like,
That's why these women need to be stopped, Bravo.
all right,
You want to
everybody-
blame the guy with the car. We need to blame the girl with the garage.
Yeah, if anybody who has a problem, go to Sunny Bricks is always right at gmail.com.
Yeah, I agree. But see, my thing is this, bro. Like, why does a woman get a pimp? Because she tried it
Because she can't
on her
fight.
own. Exactly. She
She
tried
can't
it
fight.
on her own, and she realized I need some protection to do this. That's why they get pimps.
But they're not smart enough to do OnlyFans or actually just have game at a
Collegiate
show bar
level?
or strip club.
They don't have the
Show bar or
network,
strip club.
because
No,
you
but
have
no,
to
no, no.
when you
But
join
if you
a
get to
strip
a show
club, you have
bar-
to get to a certain point in the hierarchy. They can't just enter.
Nah. You really
Well,
don't.
she's
I don't
actually
know.
kinda
I'm speaking
right.
from 2025.
Bravo has experienced being a stripper.
Well, I'm just saying. They,
Yeah, don't do
they
the
call me-
Denzel
They call me
face.
Magic Marcus. I'm Magic Marcus.
It's like if I'm a bartender and I just started a bar, you're not immediately going to be making all the bread. You have to like work your way up somehow.
Yeah,
And sometimes,
that's true.
unfortunately, people sleep their way up. So
No, but that's what I'm trying to say is, like, if you get yourself into a show bar, if you get yourself
Mhm.
into a strip club, or even to top off, like, in Vegas,
they
I
have
guess
no
that's a
real
show bar as well.
talent.
I know, I understand, but
Hey,
when they get you for that dance,
I've seen
when they
some
get
talented
yeah, I was about to
girls.
say it.
But they're not being pimped out.
No, listen. When you get to that point where you ask for that dance, that's when you start doing your marketing for, you start upselling.
Right.
For, outside of the shop. And that's where your protection is. You know what I mean?
See,
because you'll be like, bring my
we
girl,
are
XYZ.
caught up in all of this strip club logic, and I'm gonna say it makes no
Strip
damn
club
sense.
logic.
This is strip club logic. Since you weren't here for this episode, a man walks into a strip club, right?
Yep.
He's interested in the girl. She's beautiful, and he asks her for her number, and she's looking at him like, "You freaking sicko! You're in a strip club." And he then
Right.
turns back to
Square.
her and says, "Well, you're ass naked in public, and I'm the weirdo." So what I'm saying is, this is strip club logic. They're putting him in behind bars, but he's not the one laying down with a stranger in the back of a fucking car, busting it wide open. That's the real problem here, because he couldn't make money if she wasn't offering the money up.
Here's the thing that people are missing.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Well, he beating them and controlling them.
While I don't agree with what
Them
he's
bitches
doing,
don't know how to act.
He's-
That's why.
he's actually not a pimp. He's actually not a pimp. He's a marketer, and he is a freelance security contractor. You know what I mean?
That's what
He
he'll
can't
put
be
on the
making that
resume.
much money if he on social media posting all that stuff.
No. That's the real crime that I was going to get to. Why? Can we stop? Can we
What
just
car
stop
was he
telling
in?
on ourselves?
That car wasn't
Can we
that
just
nice.
Right. That's
we
what I'm trying to
stop
get
telling
at.
can we just stop telling on ourselves, please? Like, please, people, can we just stop?
They started
telling on
using the
ourselves?
word. They started using the word traffic because honestly, they were just pissed off. They didn't like the fact that these guys was getting money. I do not condone anything that they do. None of it.
No, me neither.
But
Me
what
neither.
I'm saying is, he's not the one topping somebody off in somebody's car. He's not doing that.
But he's holding them hostage.
No, he is not
he?
holding nobody hostage.
He's
You know
guaranteeing
the
them
rules of the
safety.
game. Your bitch chose me.
No, he's guaranteeing them
A
safety.
pimp has to be chosen. And anybody that knows anything about pimping knows that. If the
His
next
eyes-
pimp comes up and he got enough game to play it, he gonna pull your bitch. It just is. Damn, I don't want to get this real on this podcast.
crazy.
This is really crazy.
No, but that's
I'm
the
watching my
whole
email. I
thing.
already know they're
That's-
gonna get me today.
That's the whole thing about pimping. Like, people get it wrong. There are highs and lows. Like, if it was all bad, the chicks would not stay, right? They would not. If it was all bad, there is some benefit being
Because he
reaped by
snapped.
this.
Something happened where he snapped and just
Right.
started beating everybody up.
But the whole thing is that snap is programmed in to keep obedience, and I don't like that. But that is
Yeah.
a thing
That is what it
happens.
is, and that's
But
you know what? That's funny
the
that
game.
see, this is the thing. This is why people it's hard because I know one. Well, I knew one, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, we
supposed
did.
to be this extravagant lifestyle. All these girls around him
a
calling
lot
him
of work.
daddy and this and that. But the problem is, like, they would post up at like a hotel or something, and these girls are literally fighting to be the bottom chick all
Yeah.
the time. No one gets along. So what should feel like this extravagant lifestyle, you got this money, is no.
Yeah, all these people
and they call it
arguing.
a stable. Everybody's arguing all the time, and after a while, this guy is just like, if y'all don't shut the fuck. And then
Yeah.
the guy that he planned to be, the one that doesn't act like the one in the orange shirt, he now becomes that because he's just trying to get them to get along, but they don't understand. Calm the fuck down. Now it's like, now I got to put hands on you. And
I
that's
feel like his
ultimate-
name
Why
is
do you know
Clarence.
this guy didn't have
does.
no stable, man? They said he had one woman he took to
He
a
had
few
one.
places.
which is why this is that
He kidnapped
bullshit.
her in that Toyota.
Yes,
This
he did.
this is that bullshit. Like, as opposed to let's actually talk about some good news. This is one of them news stories that they just needed some filler, because that's exactly what this shit is. Nobody gives a fuck about a pimp. Nobody gives a
this
fuck about a
happens
prostitute.
every week in every state. This happens every week in every state.
Yeah,
every
because
goddamn
like it's a big
month.
deal right now. But then we had what was that show on HBO? It was like the sex show, Real Sex or whatever.
Oh yeah,
we
real,
can go.
yeah, real.
Yeah, we
So
can
what-
go
what
right
would
over there
happen-
to
No,
Las
the ladies,
Vegas.
the ladies of something street, whatever the fuck it was. It was something
Either
street.
way, but you can go right over there to Las Vegas and it's legal. Like,
The
so
studs gonna
why?
start getting locked up next.
Who?
And I'm calling it the studs. They're gonna start getting locked up next.
You
and
think
I'm,
so?
I'm
no,
calling
no,
it.
No,
I'm calling it.
no, stop it. Yo, the studs got all the problems. Don't let the studs be. Look, first of all, and I feel
This
for,
guy looks like a
gay.
stud right now, yo.
No, listen. I feel for the studs because there have been surveys that have said that studs feel unrequited because they do all the munching and don't get munched. It's because it's crazy.
Who the fuck wants
It's
to
crazy.
munch a
Actor and filmmaker.
woman that looks like
Right.
him?
Right.
I'm literally gonna throw up.
All right, well,
Right.
guys, we got to move on to our next pimp. You ready?
What are we, the Springer show now?
Yeah, no, it's just a
Basically.
special. It's a special episode. It's a
Oh,
special
okay.
episode. All
For
pimps,
Juneteenth?
all night. Yeah, well, you know what? Juneteenth was a wash. I hope y'all saw them crazy ass Kroger cakes.
Hey, we
in
got
the
14
Kroger
people.
But hold
Yeah,
up, time out.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
I
people
saw them
back. We got
cakes.
people
That
back.
was crazy.
Oh, well, we
We
got
should
more
have been
people.
giving them out for
Hold
free.
up, before we go on, yo, I tell you what pisses me off, yo.
What pisses
And
you off?
what I think pisses everybody off. Like, bro, this guy got 35 years and Diddy kicked that girl up and down the damn hallway and he ain't getting nothing.
Oh, they're still deciding.
No,
they're
they're
still
not deciding
what
on
they're gonna
that,
do.
though. They're not deciding on
They
that.
decided on the racketeering.
Yeah, racketeering.
See, Bravo, this is why I still don't agree with you, bro, because in order for him to have been her pimp, she had to respond. She had to say yes. And
No,
women are
that's what
supposed to
I'm-
be
no,
smarter
you-
than
no, you
dudes,
missed my
bro.
point. Yo, you
then
missed
women
my
would be the
point.
pimps.
You missed my entire point. I'm
What?
saying that this is a symbiotic relationship that sometimes get nasty. That's what I was
I
saying
don't
the
know
whole
what
time.
symbiotic means, though.
It means
bro.
What
they
does that
both
mean?
benefit.
Simba?
They mean both parties intertwine benefit in some way.
The
But
only
sometimes
problem
one-
is the girls don't benefit financially.
from what?
Like, they don't profit. So, for
Yeah.
example,
Yes,
the
that's
girl
that's
will get a
because
place
his
to
security
stay.
rates no, that's because his security rates
You're a piece
are
of shit.
astronomical. That's what it is.
100%.
He's like, look, I'm gonna charge you. You know what? I like you. I'm gonna charge you 99.9%.
You know what? Forget everything I said up until this point. I take it all back. He deserves 35 years for taking that damn picture with that AK-47.
Yes,
That was-
stop telling me
Rule
that's
number
a real
one.
crime.
I'm telling you
That's
right now,
a real
Donatella
crime.
probably is the one that said, you know what, he gotta go. Because Donatella Versace don't play about all that.
With them glasses, too.
I feel you.
gonna
I
get them
feel you. Is she
stolen
still
in jail.
alive? She
I
like
don't
she
know.
looks
Is
like
she alive?
Donatella Versace. Last picture, she looks like a skin purse with bones in it.
She looks like that big. You ever seen that scuba diver that's like hammering some shit and there's this big ass fish that's just like right
Yeah,
next
people
to him
need
and
to
he's
stop
like
live
pushing him
streaming
away?
Anglerfish. Right.
She looks like no, not the anglerfish. It's just like a. It just looks like a fish that the kid was drawing when he drew the Tesla truck drawings. Like
Because if he didn't post, would anyone care?
the fish
Probably
is
not.
just like this.
He wouldn't have been caught if he didn't post.
That is,
Right.
well, maybe
That's
not
my
right
point.
away. You know. He
That-
might
no,
have
no,
still
no,
got caught.
no, because it would have been way harder to prove it. Because if they followed the 304 oath,
He would have
as
already
was
been in a
posted,
ditch somewhere.
right? Because as soon as it became dicey, she'd have been gone.
It's not
And there would
worth
have been nobody-
35 years though. It's like, look, bro, I get it. You flooding, all of these bad drugs into the streets. That's one thing. Yo, you flooded the street with vagina?
He didn't
Okay.
flood the street. He had one.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I
No,
cannot.
I'm just
Next
saying,
pimp,
like-
next pimp.
We gotta move. Next pimp. Okay, we're gonna
Flooding
go.
the streets is crazy.
Yeah. This
This is wild. This is
diabolical.
one of our wildest. This show is going to get us
Yeah.
no money.
Wait, not at
Did
all.
you guys
We're-
watch Straw?
Well, we're about to get to
I
that.
No, Tyler
No, I
Perry
don't-
must be stopped. I'm not watching
Tyler
that
Pe-
shit.
yo,
No,
Tyler
I
Perry is
literally
the
am
worst
having
person on
PTSD
earth.
from that.
Hold on,
movie.
we're going to talk about before we talk about Straw. Well, maybe we should talk about Straw before we talk about Sticks. because the next story is a Tyler Perry. He's the next pimp, and we're bringing him up because he is that dude. But do we want to talk about Straw right now?
No.
We'll get to it in 1 second. Let's hear the allegations against Tyler. Just really quick. If you haven't heard the story,
black woman suffering.
The 260 million one?
Yeah. We're gonna run that story. We're gonna put that on your face real quick. And
sued over sexual harassment. What was his name?
His name was Dwayne
Dixon.
Dixon. He was about the Dixons.
Was he into the Dick Insiders?
Yeah, he didn't start his day without a Dick Insider. So,
oh, man, who does that?
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
You know what I mean?
Check out
Actually,
the story.
that was his stage name. His real name, because he was foreign, his name was Squattin' Holat.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon. Dixon was in two of Tyler Perry's shows, The Oval and Ruthless. In a statement to NBC News, Perry's team says this appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, calling the allegations fabricated claims. Let's bring in NBC's Stephen Romo, who's following this. Stephen, what more do we know about the allegations here?
Yeah, Tom, just going through those allegations in this lawsuit seeking $260 million in damages, alleging sexual harassment, assault, retaliation as well. The direct details include inappropriate touching. As you mentioned, Dixon starred in The Oval with Tyler Perry, and we got this statement from inside the complaint. Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and sexually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. So you can read from that. This implies there are more people who are alleging this than just Dixon. We have a bit of a timeline here for the relationship that we know, the professional relationship between these two men and the allegations made in this complaint, saying that they met in 2019. The lawsuit alleges that then their relationship moved forward with this professional advancement. And in 2019, Perry offering Dixon a small role in Ruthless. And then in January 2020, that is when Dixon accuses Perry of sexually assaulting him in his home. And then the following month, Dixon alleges that Perry offered him a series regular role in The Oval. Now, we do have comment from Tyler Perry's attorneys saying that this individual appears to have been setting Tyler Perry up.
Was it Medea?
Say that they are alleging that this is a scam and saying, quote, Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail.
Dixon, Dixon.
It probably just went wrong.
Well, let's just say this. This was the preliminary news story, but since then there were some text messages.
I want to see the text.
Okay, wait. Before we move on, is anyone here surprised?
No, not at all.
We've been saying that.
This is why
the man made his career wearing a dress, y'all. It's not surprising to me at all.
So you're saying that people with dresses are sexual deviants and try to?
No, I'm saying people that are 6'6" with heads like that wearing dresses and shit. That's. Hey, I'm not surprised when dicks are involved.
Well, here's
6
the thing.
foot, 7 foot, 8 foot hump.
Yeah.
Well, let's like I said, I can bring up the text. I'm sure I can find them on X.
Yeah, this man is crazy.
The man's initials are fucking TP, man. It's gonna get shitty, bro.
It's real shitty.
Wow.
Straight up.
Hold on, let me see if I can find the text message. Hold on a second here.
Look at how that guy's looking at him in the back, yeah.
Is that Cory Booker?
I don't even know who that is, but I promise it might be.
Yeah, the New Jersey congressman who used to date AOC.
That looked just like him.
The white girl over his shoulder looks like an Easter Island rock. She got a real strong nose bone. Yeah.
That's not Cory Booker. Both of his eyes are looking in the same place.
Oh.
That is Cory Booker. That's Cory Booker over to the side there.
Is it Cory
That's
Booker?
him. That's him. You got it right. I didn't even notice that was him.
Yo, he's gonna want this picture wiped from the internet soon.
Well, let's see what the situation is. So the alleged text show Tyler Perry commenting
He got rhinestones
on accuser's
you know
lunch choice. I mean, were there questions? Were there questions?
He got a brooch on.
So let's see what it says here. According to court documents, the 55-year-old, blah, 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 blah. He sent unsolicited photos. We know what those are.
Where's the text messages?
Okay, hold on. So one, Text says,
Oh
"Oh my
my
God,
God.
look at whatever." I don't know what the
Derek.
hell. What does that mean? Breakout in ass and thighs. What kind of shit is he? Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so TP over here saying, "Why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. It's just Brad. He wanted to go for a walk."
Yo, this is just
Thick
fucking Thug
Derek.
Magnificent
Because
all over
no,
again,
he
man.
was flirting back, bro. I'm telling you, this went wrong. He showed up in the Medea outfit. It got weird. He was like, "Listen, I'm not that type
Oh,
of
that's
gay."
when it got
Now
weird.
look here, just let go and let God.
He showed up in something
Hello.
crazy.
Hello.
You know what I say? Better out than in, baby.
No, what he said was, it works better if you
Oh,
relax. If
man,
you don't
did you see
relax,
this?
I chafe.
Did you see this? The text here? It says,
Yes.
Yes.
He says, "How can
Did
you
you see
tell
the
that
hunk of
from
the
the
photo?
photo?"
Yeah.
He says,
He
"Only
calling
from your
it
jeans."
Chipotle. Chipotle only serves baby legs and salads.
Right.
Come
So
on, man.
He's basically saying that Derek has a Chipotle size third leg. Chipotle burrito size.
My question is, why is he responding? Like, this is, you know what?
Because
Who knows?
he's
Because that's
also
that's his
interested.
boss.
Yeah,
And
but
it
you
went
know
wrong.
what? You
This
know
is
what?
a $260 million breakup, yo.
I actually have information to tell you. All right, Derek Dixon was discovered by working staff services at an event that Tyler Perry was at. Right?
Oh my God, I'm
And
looking
then
at
Tyler
more.
Perry talked to him and said, "Hey, yo, you have that look. Do you want to be on the show?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, that would be great. That's awesome. That's why I'm out here, is trying to get, I'm doing staff events so I can link up with people." He said, that's good. And then after they linked up with the with the messages and all that shit, and he said, "Hey, come invite me." Tyler Perry invited him to the house, and they could talk about work. Yeah, this is when all this shit started.
Apparently,
The thing is that I don't think that Dixon did not know what it was, but I think that he's capitalizing on what it was.
Oh, for sure. Because me personally, if Tyler Perry walked up to me at my job, I don't think I'd be on nobody's show.
Right.
Well, he knew the Dixon.
well, he claims that basically Tyler Perry, from some of the stuff, Tyler Perry went to his home, where after getting drunk, falling asleep in the guest room, Perry allegedly entered his bed and began touching his thighs. Despite rejecting the advances, Dixon says Perry...
Who's Medea? They didn't got a typo.
They got a typo in the damn news story, right?
In the complex.
Yeah.
Right, complex.
They said he entered his.
This
he
ain't no
entered his bed.
goddamn credible source.
Yes, it is.
Complex sucks.
Wait.
Look,
They
this is-
said bed. They spelled butt cheeks wrong. They said bed
He
instead.
got in his butt. No, we don't. He says it wasn't that sexual. It was more a lot of
that's-
flirting.
The
and
dude
talking.
said that he had a
That is
Chipotle,
1000%
bro.
cap.
Well, it's like I said. I think it was inappropriate, but I don't see any text messages saying
Setting
man,
up a scam. How is
This
this
is a
scam?
$260 million breakup. Somebody's pissed
Did he
off.
kick him off the show?
Well, man,
Show got
just
canceled.
Speaking of pissed
See?
off, like,
So now he's
here's the
trying to
real
take all this
question.
stuff. He been building this joint.
Yeah, he's been building.
Is TP a top or power bottom?
Ew.
You know
He's
what?
got to
You
be
know
a
what?
top if he's sending them pictures like, "Hey, man, I'm Chipotle," just so you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he was a top, he wouldn't be worried about what's swinging.
Okay.
What?
You
If
know
he was
what?
a top.
We don't even. That's not even relevant. We don't even need to go there.
Yeah, I don't even
actual-
understand this talk anymore.
I understand
I have
it.
no
I just don't
experience here.
think
I don't even
that
want to.
that
I don't either.
No.
Even matters.
No.
I'm
because
just following the logic.
I
No.
hear you though.
I don't understand
Happy
how.
Pride, everybody.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
don't.
see?
Yeah, let's just
Happy
go with that.
Pride.
Happy Pride, because I don't understand this conversation.
Y'all don't need to
Happy
understand.
Pride. Oh my goodness, man! I forgot what I was about to bring something up too.
Yeah, I thought this was supposed to be some pimp shit, and we talking about Tyler Perry. Yo,
Well,
this
Tyler Perry is the pimp we're talking about. We've all heard it.
Tyler Perry
Oh.
search and destroy.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the thing is that this dude is not what he's pimping.
Yo,
he's
what I want to
pimping
know is when
black-
did
no,
the
no, no, no,
industry
wait,
decide that we were
wait,
going to take down all
wait.
of our black million and billionaires?
And
Wait
that
a
is
minute.
That is a good
What
question.
what he's doing is he's not pimping This dude, he's pimping black women emotions, and he's been doing it since Medea.
Okay, so let's
He does not care.
have that conversation then, since you brought it up. Since we're talking about Tyler Perry and black women. There's
His
been a
whole
lot of
thing is
mixed
black women
reviews about
struggle,
that Straw
and
movie.
black men are evil.
Well, ain't no black women behind him right now.
It's never been a black
that
woman
picture.
behind him.
But I believe personally that Tyler Perry secretly wants to be a black woman, and that's why he always has them so destitute in these movies.
Yes.
And
But he also wants us to suffer.
yeah.
And he wants black men to be the perpetrators.
He wants black women to suffer?
Yes.
Yes, because
Why?
he can't be them.
Because they will perpetually be his audience as long as they do.
They'll perpetually be his audience, but he wants to be them.
But he also preys on our emotions. Did y'all see
Yeah.
that TikTok of the lady that was like crying at the movie? She's like, no, like that's some real stuff because he purposely wants to trigger us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's evil.
I'm gonna be honest. The Straw movie was crazy to me. I watched the movie. I watched it with the wife.
I will never watch it.
I had to watch it with somebody because I was like, I can't watch this alone.
I said no.
I will never.
I wanted to be mad at Bravo just now when he said he would never watch
give
it.
that coon any of my goddamn money.
I told my fiance, I was like, I ain't watching that shit.
I feel you.
No, I watched it, and I didn't.
I watched it for Tayana, to be honest, but
no.
Well,
I don't trust anybody that has like 17 sequels, yo. Like,
yo, or painted on hairline.
Well, I wasn't a
that was
I
a
wasn't
low blow,
a big
yeah.
fan of Straw because
Speaking of low blows, isn't that what
it was a lot lower budget than the other movies he's done.
Yeah.
I thought, look, let me tell you what. I walked downstairs, my fiance is sitting there, and she says to me, "You want to watch Straw?" I was like, "What is that?" And she said, "It's the new Tyler Perry movie." So I said, "All right." And she turns it on, and I see that the way they did the graphics for the word straw, and I was like, "Oh, well, wait a minute. I've seen this in this movie. It's a show on effects that's about a demigod, but they use the words like he did it." And I was like, "Oh, this might be good." And then Taraji starts acting. She's having a terrible day, and then it's like the Colonel from Different World. I was like, "Nope, this ain't going nowhere good. I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out."
Well,
she was like, "No, watch it."
Yeah.
So then after it's over, she comes upstairs and she was like, "Yo, I wish I was you." She was like, this movie literally ended in some shit. Like there was no resolve. It was just, she just got shit on all day.
That's what.
So
he
what
wants.
Genesis said was actually spot on. Like, what do you just hate black women? What's going on, sir?
I
it's
told you
psychological.
that he wants to keep women in a emotionally stunted space without any actual solutions.
No hope.
Because
but he
no
doesn't
hope,
even want to be
no
with black
solution.
women, so it's like, why are you shitting on him?
No,
because he
that's
can't
where he
be
gets
them. I
paid.
keep saying he can't be them, so he hate
think
them.
about it. Who pays for the tickets for the church plays? The black women do. Black man pays for that shit, and that's where he got to start. And was doing his Medea shit.
So why would he be shitting on them if they're the ones that pay for it?
Because it keeps us involved and it keeps us
still
engaged.
keep paying for it.
Yes,
So then,
because
Bravo,
black
you were
acting-
right. I take back everything I said tonight, bruh. Blame the women for this shit.
Oh no.
Not blame the women, blame him for manipulating.
Because they
the women
keep
to
buying
get
the
his shit.
tickets.
But
Why are y'all buying these
but
tickets?
he's manipulating them into that.
How,
the
Sway?
point. And you got to understand
Because of the subject.
he presented. Wait a second. He presented Straw as if it was an empowerment movie, but to me, it just showed
It was
somebody.
not.
She didn't have nothing in line. She didn't have the
She
right
had a
health care for
terrible
her
day.
kid. No, forget just the terrible day. Think about some of the inferences there. Who the hell don't have direct deposit these days? And she has a bank account across the street. No direct deposit over there. They knew her at
This
the
was
bank.
specifically traumatic to me though, because I actually do feel like this is what be going on. Not the part where she kills everybody, but from being a person who was a bank
Spoiler
teller for
alert.
2 years, people would really come in there, have no direct deposit, need that money right now because they don't have their shit together. Like that's
Right.
just what it is.
That's my
and
whole
so
point.
he was just taking out all his anger and being like, listen, this is y'all are the issue. And in ways, there are some people who do fit that description, but it's not the majority of Black women, and I stand on that.
You're right.
You
And
are
that's
right.
the thing is like
So what did he? How did he explain
He
it?
No, listen. He capitalizes on that nether region from what white people understand and what Black church women understand. He capitalizes on that nether realm. And he keeps on saying, ain't that right, sister? I know that's what you go through. I get that. That's what he does all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Just like the term good Judy. That like a Black woman will deal with a gay Black man and call him it's good Judy because it's not a woman, but it's somebody who's strong enough to help defend her, but also is feminine enough so she can divulge all her secrets. That's where he lives.
Ooh.
That's where he lives. And he's been doing that since the fucking 90s, and nobody's calling him out on it.
Nobody is. So
This
maybe
nigga's a good Judy and done it.
Right. So I didn't like the setup of the Straw movie because it was like everything that could be wrong with this woman's life was wrong with this woman. And I just feel like he's always portraying Black women as destitute in these
many
situations.
stereotypes.
And it's like, she was just one person, but that's not Black women as a whole. And then what happened was a lot of women were like, I am Janiyah. Are you? Are you shooting your boss? Because he won't let you get your check because you've been late because you had.
I believe it's
I mean, it
called
was a lot.
unaliving. Thank you.
I just said
Unalive.
shoot. I didn't say.
Can't say that. You have to say pew pew.
Hayward.
Oh man.
Can't say
Christ.
BLACK
Can't say
anymore. It's
nothing. You can't say
BLK.
pimp.
No,
You can't say
YouTube,
nothing.
No, YouTube's different. YouTube's different. Not TikTok.
True. And we are covering a news story here, and we're in education segment today. So we had to change
Shout out to Night
categories again.
Shift.
Yeah,
Shout out
we
to
had,
Night Shift.
yeah,
in
we
the,
had to
in the
change
chat.
categories. Yeah. Hey, special shouts to I Can't Talk, I'm Deaf in the chat. Thank you for jumping in. That's a cool name. I like that. So because we ran over because our first stream got
That's the
interrupted.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous. I can't.
Stupid ass. So we got to get to our last pimp of the day, okay? So we can get up out of here. All right, here's our
Rapper
last
Fat
pimp of the
Joe
day.
has been hit with an explosive $20 million lawsuit for allegedly coercing his ex-hype man into thousands of sexual acts. In a graphic 157-page lawsuit, Terrence T.A. Dixon accuses Fat Joe, whose legal name is Joseph Cartagena, of more than a decade of abuse. The details so disturbing that there's a very trigger warning in the red on the first page of that filing. Dixon alleges that in the lawsuit, Cartagena forced him to, quote, humiliating situations, including sex acts, performed under duress and surveillance. Dixon claims he personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with girls as young as 15, one of whom Cartagena was allegedly in love with and contemplated leaving his wife for. An attorney for Cartagena says the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation. NBC's David Romo is on the story for us. And Stephen, Cartagena initially sued Dixon, and now Dixon is suing Cartagena. Both sides are trading allegations here.
Yeah, a lot of allegations here, but the lawsuit filed today has a lot more graphic content, if you will, Tom. Cartagena actually sued Dixon back in April on allegations that, as a former employee, he was trying to extort him for money. Dixon
Hold on a
sued them.
second. Wait a second. He said Dixon again? Those are just the
Yeah,
season
what's
of
up with all these people?
It's all
the
about the
same
Dixon.
name?
No, it's Dixon season.
Yeah, it's Dixon
season.
season. Dixon season, apparently. Yeah.
But before you play that, you know what the funniest thing is that the lawsuit is basically, I'm suing you because I saw you fuck and you made me fuck.
What? Well, he
That's
should
what
be
it was.
sued
No,
for this
watch, no,
outfit that's
listen.
in this shot. This is absolute blasphemy.
Exactly. This dude looks like Black Licorice Tums.
Right. He
You know
looks
what I
like
mean?
if somebody dyed a pug dog purple or something. Like, this is ridiculous.
This nigga looks like a Puerto Rican Care Bear, right?
This is worse than the
He
Frank
looks like
Lucas.
the Pillsbury Doughboy, but like turned into a murderer. So
He looks
anyway,
like everything you
I don't think
scrape
we're
off
allowed
to
to say
make
murderer,
velvet.
though. Are we
This
allowed to
nigga
say
looks like
My bad.
Nikolai Rodriguez.
that? So,
Yo, he looks like a
Cartagena.
murderous Michelin man.
Hey, I got a quick question though. How do you guys feel about Fat Joe and his frequent use of the N-word? Does he get a pass?
Puerto Ricans get a pass. Puerto Ricans get a pass.
Okay.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, New York Ricans get a pass.
It's
No, they don't.
specifically
Fuck
New
out of
York.
here. No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Why?
They don't.
Why?
Why should they?
Why should not they?
Why they
Why
should
should
not?
they? Why should what?
No, why shouldn't? No, I said I just broke shouldn't.
Should
out.
they not?
But why shouldn't they? No, seriously. Why
Should
not?
should you be able to say the saltine word?
Yes, because I say it.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, you can say it offensively, but that don't mean you get a pass. You just say it.
No,
it ain't
I
cool,
say it.
no matter. It ain't cool across the board. Like, nigga, you ain't go through this struggle. Fuck is you talking about?
No, the whole thing is that they actually
Stop
do go
feeling
through
like
the
you're that cool, bro. Not you, but like, no, you don't get a pass to say that.
No. The whole thing is that
Was your
reason
mother a
why they get
slave?
pass- No, the whole reason why they get a pass is that
Fuck is you talking
they have
about?
been. Listen what I'm saying. The whole reason
Don't
they
get
get
a
a pass is this. Because they were in the New York struggles.
Yo.
When they were in the marches, they recruited the Puerto Rican. They recruited the Cubans. They recruited those people to make marches because they need masses to happen. And the only people to take advantage of that were the Puerto Ricans.
I appreciate your help. Now you okay to call me nigga?
My nigga.
But the whole thing is, no. What I'm trying to say is like if
I
you
feel
ain't
you,
grow
but
up
I
in
don't
a
agree
life-
with you.
Listen. If you ain't grow up in life, you drop an M-bomb on me, and you grew up in Calabasas, I'm fucking you up on sight.
What about the Dominicans?
Dominicans, yeah, they get it too.
How do you tell the difference?
My own thing. No, Dominicans, they were part of the struggle too.
They be black.
They weren't here.
You know,
Exactly. Afro-Cubans.
Nah,
let's just
nobody
open
gets a
it up.
pass.
Yeah.
Let's just open it up. Let everybody get a pass, and then
Just
just
not
open it
the
up, man. Just forget about it. It's
Oop.
too hard to
Oop.
differentiate
Yeah,
who gets a
That's
pass
what I'm
and
trying
who
to
doesn't.
say. Open it up and then reduce the power, yo. Like that's what I'm
At
trying to say.
the end of the day, it's like, well, why do you want to say it?
What's the intention behind it?
Cool.
Exactly. That's why I
You
say
don't
bro
call
and
your
this and
friends that. You call each other. You call your friends Poppy and Papa. You don't
Yo,
call
Papa is crazy.
yeah, like you don't call
I
each
don't
other
think I ever
that.
heard somebody call any friend Papa.
No, they like
do
when somebody
that.
comes to, hey,
Yeah.
¿Qué pasó, Papa?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
That's how that
okay.
works.
He is correct.
They don't call each other the N word. Why do you feel comfortable calling me that, sir?
because they're talking to us now.
I don't
Well,
give a
I'm
fuck
not
who
a
they're
nigga,
talking to.
nigga.
Because they call me Poppy all the time, and Poppy like
They're not gonna call me Poppy for obvious.
I'm not
reasons.
saying like bro. I've
look
heard your argument,
Dominican.
and
You
I
can
don't
be Dominican,
I don't
Bravo.
I don't
Dominican is
understand.
exactly-
I don't not
He's from
understand
Panama.
why you have the argument that you have. What I'm
Son,
saying is, at the end of
Panama.
the day, it's kind of like one of those things my mom used to say. I'm blood, you water. If you're not blood, like, why do you want to say it so bad? And we can look at the guy that we're looking at right now, Fat Joe.
Oh wait,
bro,
Pause
you
him,
don't
pause him,
own
wait,
space
pause
here,
him,
bro.
Pause him real quick. I gotta talk to the person in the chat. I can't talk. I'm deaf. Said some dope shit. I always said demonizing a word only helps the enemies blend in.
Mm.
That's dope as fuck.
Facts. You get a gong for
That's
that.
what I'm
Explain
trying to
that.
say.
Yeah, you get a gong.
Explain
for
that. Demonizing a word only.
Giving it power to offend you only gives ammo to the enemy.
Mm. Mm. Well, here's the thing.
I
Me
get it,
personally,
but at the same time, yo, you use that word, you can get slapped the fuck up.
That
I'm
is
gonna have all the
also
power I
true.
need. I'm gonna knock you the fuck
Yo,
out.
that
Like,
it's definitely an
fuck
on-site
out of
word
here.
if
I'm
it's-
not giving
if
Fat it-
Joe
the reign to be using that word. No.
Wait. No. Listen. It's about intention, not the word itself.
I don't care. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. I understand why you're saying what I'm saying, but I have no intention of bringing people in the house, bro.
Let me finish. You have
Stay
to
outside,
let me finish.
nigga.
You have to. No, you have to let me finish.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say. That's what Diddy said. Anyway, you have to let me finish. What I'm trying to say is, he has never dropped an N-bomb outside of brotherhood. Ever. You know what I mean? So you know that he's not using it as a pejorative, as a negative connotation to the person he's talking to. So you know that he's never doing that for that reason.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
well then, okay, I understand that, but the people that I allowed to use that word around me don't snitch when it comes into the police situation. This nigga will run us up the fucking road and then use the word.
No, but you have to let me finish though. You have to let me finish though. What I'm trying to say is that what people are, what people want to, the section out and use as a problem. He's never used it outside of the brotherhood. And anytime he's used the word, it's been in solidarity. And he's never used it like he's trying to make himself separate from anybody. And he's part of the struggle.
He just wants to be a part of something.
He's part of something.
Yo, Fat Joe's a piece of shit, bro.
Cut and dry, yo.
Fat Joe's a piece of shit, bro.
Yes,
Look at
he is
the pun, yo. You don't get no pass here, bro.
No. Why he's a piece of shit? It's because he got involved with Diddy. It doesn't mean Puerto Ricans can't drop the N-bomb if they part of the struggle.
Yo, did you see what Fat Joe said about like why he's important to hip hop? Like, man, this a whole nother show. He don't get a pass from me, bro. No, well, we're talking about Fat Joe right now. Fat Joe don't get a pass. Fuck Fat Joe.
Well,
you know what? Matter of fact, since Fat Joe is so important, let me ask any of y'all in the chat, anybody that's here right now, what's a Fat Joe hip hop quotable other than Flo Joe? What's your favorite Fat Joe bar? And then I'll ask you this. I'll ask you, no, I didn't say song, I said bar. Then I'll ask you this. How good was Fat Joe? Well, all right, whatever. How good was Fat Joe until after Pun was gone?
Uh-oh. That's a good question.
Fuck is y'all talking about? He does not get a pass. And what he did to Pun and his family is ridiculous. Don't let them fucking barbershop interviews fool you. Fat Joe is a piece of shit who does not get a pass. Not for me, ever.
Here's what you missed from the whole argument. Here's what you missed from the whole argument.
That's how I feel.
It's not about
He's a piece of shit, bro.
No. You missed the argument.
It's the outfit that's killing me.
New Yorkers get an
just in the back, like
they do.
Nobody gets a pass, bro.
I mean, that's a nigga's outfit, though. That's definitely
my great grandmother was a freaking slave, bro. No, nobody gets a pass, bro. If you're not of this, you don't get a pass. You know,
Puerto Ricans are slaves to this day. They can't even vote, but we take all their money.
Well, speaking of votes, the chat is going in. It's kind of split. I put up a poll asking if Fat Joe gets a pass for the N-word, and it's kind of going back and forth. It's about 50-60% no.
No, it's 37 to 63. 63 no. He does not get a pass, bro.
Yo, we lit right now about this.
No. Fuck no. No, he doesn't. Because I swear, if he walked up talking to Bravo, he was standing there, what's up, my nigga? Get the fuck out of here. No.
Well, so the question to me is, because Bravo's taking an entire Puerto Rican
approach. Why does he want to say it so bad?
Well, no, but you got to also, I got to give Bravo at least some credit on this. If Fat Joe grew up in an area with a bunch of black people who were all using the same word and they gave him a pass, who are we to deny that pass? If it's a New York pass, we can't take it from him. That's all I'm saying. But you were mentioning Fat Joe as an individual. Bravo was mentioning Puerto Ricans as a culture being able to have an N-word pass. And so
Puerto Rican is a culture. But it is.
What I'm saying is he's saying all Puerto Ricans should have an N-word pass. You're saying Fat Joe shouldn't have
I'm saying
an N-word
absolutely
pass.
not.
Okay. So
I'm saying absolutely not.
Y'all are arguing two different things.
No, I say New York.
Okay, then let's try this. Let's try this. Because now we're in here feeling like we're special because of the N-word. Okay. You ever seen a black person walk up to a Puerto Rican person? My boricua. No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
I do that.
But then you're corny as fuck if you do that. It's weird. Why would you do that?
Hey, I didn't know.
You're not boricua. You're not from the island. You're not Italian or Indian.
No, I say
Now, if you speak Spanish, that's different. But to walk up to somebody and say, my boricua, that's I mean, no, I've been learning to speak Spanish and German. But my point is, speaking Spanish is one thing, but speaking like a term like that,
Like a slang.
there's certain things we just don't do. You don't do that with Puerto Ricans. You don't do that with white. You don't walk over with white people and say the H word. We don't do that.
Listen, the thing is that,
And if we treat these other cultures with that respect, why would we invite that to us?
Here's the
That's
thing:
silly.
what you're missing. No, what you're missing is there was a tell in a very popular song that you did not notice at the end. You just thought it was like a call and response part, but there was "I Don't Want to Be a Player No More" with Big Pun.
Wasn't that Joe?
He said,
It was Big Pun's song.
That is true.
No, Big Pun, Morena. Morena means dark skin.
No, I know exactly what it means. It doesn't even mean dark skin, it means black. I get it.
Boricua, Morena,
Yeah.
Boricua, yeah. But the whole thing is that they feel like we're part of the same struggle. And that was a New Yorican doing that, which is why I give them the pass. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know about
I like that
passes.
Boricua Morena. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you're
How
not
did we
gonna
get
come up
here?
in my house screaming some nigga shit. Fuck that.
Joe,
I'm not
well,
trying-
it
no,
was
but
a
the thing is,
question.
I don't understand why you would want that. That's what I
No,
mean.
the whole
I understand
thing
why
is,
you
as long-
said it, but I don't know why you would.
No, the thing is like,
Like, at the end of the
no,
day, I can't say
if
this in
it's-
front of God and feel comfortable. Like, yeah,
if
they
it's
can
said
call us
out of
niggas.
brotherhood, if the end, if the end bomb
What
is
is you
dropped
talking
out
about?
of brotherhood, now listen, if it's dropped out of brotherhood, I'm not going to stop it. If it's dropped out of antagonistic, like Venom, then I'm smash on sight, like bam.
I get
So-
that. I
so
get
that-
that.
no,
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
not
trying to say.
okay. Then the better thing would be for me to say, if you do that, you're now on watch. Okay, because I said it in a battle record. I said, "Oh, is you comfortable? Because you can say the N word around Sonny." I've always felt this way.
I think
Okay,
Trump
if you
loves
feel
us like
free,
that
but
because
the
like
thing-
feel
he had to go
free.
to
No matter what your
Mar-a-Lago.
culture is, no matter what your color is, feel free to say the N word around me. But that only makes me know how I'm going to be looking at you from now on. So if you
But
do
no,
that.
what I'm trying to tell you is, what I'm
Okay,
trying to
so
tell you is this.
so you think
No,
Fat
no,
Joe
wait,
and them
wait,
have
wait,
no
wait. No,
problem
you
with me
can't-
calling them spics? It's
No,
cool with
the
them?
thing is,
What's
he's
up, my
not a-
spick?
But they don't call
He's
each
not a
other
spick.
spicks, though.
He's not a spick.
No, they
He's
don't.
not a spick.
But we call each other
No, the
niggas
thing
all
is-
day. So
But my point is, why
I'm
give
trying
them
to
that pass? You
explain
see how
why.
uncomfortable it
I'm
felt
I'm
when I said
trying to
that?
explain why y'all are.
I don't
going
walk
off on a
up to
tangent
Mexican and say, "What's up, my beaner?"
but they don't call
Wet
each
because they
jack.
other
don't
beaners.
do that.
Until you
It
have the
doesn't
word,
matter.
But it's not the same
It's a
thing.
racial slur.
It
It's a
is,
racial
but-
slur.
But
Y'all,
it's
y'all
only-
don't want the truth. Y'all want to be angry then.
I'm not angry.
I'm not
trying to
angry. I'm just
say-
saying I don't condone
no,
it.
No,
you
guys are in a
condone it.
circular
I don't.
Argument. I'm trying to tell you why these terms.
I just think it's
started
whack.
and why
I just-
why they became points of pride and points of contention. I'm trying to explain that, but y'all don't want to hear it.
All right, go ahead.
So
I'll go
ahead.
on mute.
Do your thing.
talk.
No, fuck it.
No,
go ahead,
no,
do your thing.
Well, I was talking
All right,
about Fat
well-
Joe being a pimp, and I asked one question about this N-word pass because it has been a discussion when it comes to Fat Joe, and they were mad at Matt Hoffa for not saying something
This
to
shit
him
is
because he was doing
corny,
it.
yo.
And so I get it. I wanted to get y'all's feelings on it. I didn't want to start a whole thing about it. We were talking about his legal battle, and
That was a
No,
whole
no,
shit.
no. At the end of the day, I understand. Bravo made he made a good case for it, and so that you understand, I just personally, I don't subscribe to that. I'm not going to make a scene with them, but I know where I'm going to put you because you feel comfortable enough to own my struggle. That's just how I feel. Fuck it, it's cool. Bravo, whoever, and anybody. That's cool.
I'm gonna
With
tell
you
you
give
right
them a
now.
pass. That's fine. I don't, but you can.
Can I say something? Can I say
Sure,
something real quick?
of course.
My entire life, I've grown up in the burbs, and I'm not trying to say I'm a hood nigga ever. I'm never trying to say that, but I have every room I've walked in, I have been considered the enemy, or somebody to prove that that their selves are better than. Every room I walk into to this day, from birth to consciousness to now. And so I understand to a degree that a lot of people don't. I walk in circles that I ain't even should be allowed in. You know what I mean? According to their rules. I'm just trying to tell you from a learned perspective that picking your side and just holding it and being rigid and not thinking about how it could benefit you and the people behind you is a dumb-ass way to think. That's what I'm saying. And so I am not going to be rigid about anything. I'm going to say, I will be convinced off of my mountain. You can tell me, as long as you give me facts, data, I'm willing to be convinced off my shit. But the thing is that I am willing to do the things that the other people will not do. And that's why I'm successful.
Okay. Well, can I finish talking about his lawsuit now?
Yeah.
Wow, we took it because we about to get out of here, and this was our last pimp of the day. So we've already covered so many other pimps, and I just wanted to finish with this outfit is so pimpalish, by the way. But
I love it.
I would have to say right now the poll is almost split on the N-word pass for Fat Joe. So I don't think that's a good discussion because we're going to end up in the middle at the end and have to agree to disagree from either side on that one.
Why they end up doing all this stuff with the strikes before people want to go to bed on a Sunday and go to church?
I don't know. So I'm going to finish the story out, and then we are going to...
You just answered your own question.
I know.
They would have dropped it. They would have buried it. They would have buried it.
So special shouts to I Can't Talk, I'm Deaf in the chat with the metaphor. Fat Joe is looking like a box of chocolate tasty cake donuts. Now, I would say red velvet, maybe. He looks more like red velvet right now.
He got the same outfit I got on, just like with a puffer vest added to it.
Exactly.
Well, he thinks it's a nice outfit. Somebody told him it was hey, wear this, Joey Crack. That's the one. And he went outside like that. But anyway, let me finish the pimp thing.
Meek Mill and Diddy were what?
Okay.
Anyway.
Something's going on in the chat there. Apparently Meek Mill and Diddy were doing some stuff with somebody. I don't know about any of that. I would say I need to see footage. I don't need to see the footage per se. I just need to know that it exists and that it's real. I don't have to view it myself. I have nightmares over shit like that. So anyway, finishing the Fat Joe legal battle situation. He's got this $20 million lawsuit. I still haven't figured out what it was over. It was sexual. Everybody's getting charged with trafficking these days, so I don't even know what it is anymore.
Was filed today is a lot more than just a typical employment dispute. The complaint does accuse Cartagena of underpaying him, but it goes on with many more allegations, claiming Cartagena would bring women to hotel rooms and make Dixon have sex with them in front of him and others. It also alleges that Cartagena would fly underage girls into the U.S. from Europe and that he paid for plastic surgery for one of them, and claimed that the minors were frequently cut off financially and discarded when they became non-compliant. Now, Cartagena's attorney claiming that those claims in this lawsuit are complete fabrications and lies, and saying, quote, the lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, of course, referencing that lawsuit originally filed back in April, Tom.
So we have...
Okay, so basically, you guys think that this lawsuit is going to hold water?
Do you remember what I said in the very beginning? Do you remember what I said in the very beginning? What this lawsuit's about?
Is that he paid somebody to have sex with somebody else in front of him?
No, this lawsuit is about Fat Joe made me fuck people and made me watch him fuck people. That's what this lawsuit is about. That's it. That's what this lawsuit is about.
Oh, I think we got hit again. Hold on a second.
And so that's why I'm like, ooh, this is flimsy. This is flimsy.
Yeah, well, we'll see. There's just so many of these lawsuits now.
I said the wrong words.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been battling today, but hey, we still got a few people that came on the second stream, so that was cool.
Hell yeah, I can't talk. I'm deaf. It's like as a soldier though.
They are throttling us again, so it's all good. It's all good. We definitely hit some pretty raunchy topics tonight. I didn't know it was going to go where it went, man. But
actually,
and then we had
it says we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. It's just it starts giving me some errors as they start, I guess, paying attention, and then sometimes, depending on what we say, it'll just shut down. But we've made it to the end of the pimping part, so I think I'm okay.
Have we?
Yeah, finally.
What else do we
It was
have?
a lot.
man?
No,
Do
no,
we
no.
have something else?
No. That was where we're gonna.
This is
we're
where
gonna
we're ending
finish.
this?
We're finishing with this. Yeah, yeah. I was.
Thanks, Diddy.
Yeah, I was gonna get into the school teacher that was messing with the 14-year-old, but I didn't want to go that route tonight. I did that story the other day with another lady.
This would not be the episode. For
Yeah, this wasn't that. She didn't fit into the pimp realm properly, so she didn't get to get the screen time. But Bonnie Blue and Andrew Tate and good pimping going on. So I am going to finish.
I had
that
a
off.
chance to collect my thoughts, so I'll say this.
Oh, nice.
When we were telling people, do not vote for that guy, they were saying, no, we're going to vote for them. These are the same people that we're giving this pass to. They voted for him. They put him into this office.
People? What do you mean by those people?
Let's say the people that we were talking about giving a pass to, when we've had our struggles, like, you cool so you can say that? But now they're out here talking about, hey, we need your help. We know we voted him in, but have our backs. I don't give passes to them, bro. I just don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just, I guess that's what my argument was. So Bravo, you had a good argument. And I understand what you were saying as far as the struggle. If you're talking about, like when the Bronx was burning in the 70s. But at the same time, I'm just like, bro, no. I've seen so many videos, such and such for Trump, such and such for Trump. No, you don't get a pass. We're not coming out here to march, or we might have your back until the police come, because we already know what they've done to us. We tried to warn you with who you voted for in the beginning. No, you don't get a pass to say that. Now you have to understand the struggle that you're in right now.
Ooh.
And then you can get a pass. Then you can get that pass.
You talking about
but go through that struggle. I'm talking about everybody that's not us. Because we're not the target anymore, right? Well, we are kind of, we're still the target, but we're not the target that campaign is going against right now. I'm just simply saying I don't rock with it.
Through that. Puerto Ricans have gone through that because they've been considered Cubans, Mexicans. They were not allowed to have their own identity because they were just Spanish speakers. You know what I mean? That's why. No, wait.
You come from the greatest. You come from one of the greatest cultures, and I'm gonna tell you. You know what they did? They took what y'all did and called it reggaeton.
Dog. Listen, let me finish.
Please.
The whole thing is that they came to the States. They were called Mexicans. They were called Cubans. They were called everything else. They were called South Americans. They weren't called Puerto Ricans, even though they were part of the Union. Puerto Rico is still a province of the United States.
It still is America. I get it.
And can't vote. They're old enough to die in the army, but that whole country can't make any decisions on what they have on their life. They can't. They have a shadow senator, same way as DC. Okay, so what the fuck is a nigga outside of that? I can make noise, but I can't do nothing. But listen, no, more than that. More than that. No, I'm not saying more than 400 years, but more than the things that I've said earlier, is that Puerto Ricans, they let's be absolutely honest.
Okay.
The Puerto Rican culture has benefited from the Afro diaspora. Okay?
But they be the first ones to tell you that they're not black.
But of course they will.
And we know they are.
But that would disparage their own culture that they built up for hundreds of years, thousands of years in their own area. You know what I mean? They can't do that. It's the same reason why there's racial disparity.
They come from Taino Indians that look just like you. But because when the Europeans came in, when the Spaniards came in, things changed. So if you're not willing to own what you come from, why would I give you a pass to say, oh, we the same now? Like, just because it's a cool word? It makes your music that you stole from Jamaica sound better? Like, is that what we're saying? I mean, Bravo, like, honestly, bro, Your whole argument was dope. I'm not going against you. You literally are my best friend. That's not what I'm saying. Wait a minute, somebody's frozen. Did they shut us down again? Oh,
He's frozen.
Is he?
Bravo's frozen
Oh, yeah.
to me, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's frozen.
I thought
cool.
he was just shocked.
He didn't,
Yeah.
They got rid of
Like
him.
he was shot.
How'd that happen? I didn't do it.
But I will just say this, man. At the end of the day, no, I understand what Bravo was saying. I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. I understand what he was saying. But at the end of the day, I just personally don't give them a pass. And I'll tell you why. My fiance is Puerto Rican. She doesn't say it to me out of respect.
But also, like, the people who are pressed to have it a part of their vocabulary,
Yes, you
that's
did
where
say that.
it bothers
You did say
me,
that.
because it's like, why are you so pressed to say it so often? Where, like, that's not really a part of my vocabulary on a daily basis. I might say it every now and then, but when it's just like every other word, that's where I'm like, all right, you like milking it a little bit, because, like, what are we even talking about now?
Right.
Well, guys, this
anyway.
we
You know what's funny? Black folks, we don't even find ourselves in conversations where we say other people's negative colloquialism. Like, when is the last time any of the four of us had a conversation off or online where we felt compelled to use somebody else's derogatory term?
That's because black people control style and always have.
I don't argue with that. That's a great point. But either way, it's never
We
been
make
that
it
important
cool.
to us.
That's
We
why
don't
they're so
have
pressed to say it.
like none of the four of us feel like we need to get a pass in somebody's culture to say some stupid shit.
No, we don't need a pass in anybody's culture because we founded their culture. Everybody except the pale ones. Because here's something. I need 45 seconds real quick without interruption. The fact that Africans came from the cradle of life and we had everything we needed, that's why we had science and math first, right?
Right.
But when we had the diaspora from the cradle of life and people went up to what's called Europe now, that is not a hospitable environment. They were cultured and grew up in a environment of scarcity, which meant conquer other things to get what I need. That's what happened. Literally. Either be in the cave, eat cold meat, or go and conquer shit. Right? Africans don't believe that way. They're like, yo, go, come on in. We big tent. Because we got everything we need right here. I'm just trying to say that we need to start thinking about how we got here. And that is the best plan on how fixing where we need to go.
I'm telling you, we're not going to get to an agreement on this.
No,
this
we're not.
topic.
No, we're not. So I'm gonna land my plane right here. In Bravo's defense, if you all want me to be cool, or anybody, if you want me to be cool with you saying that word, then rep where you actually come from, knowing that the Taino Indians look exactly like Bravo.
Correct.
If you rep that,
that's my point.
But if you, but if you, but yeah, but if you are, well, no, we're Puerto Rican. Like Puerto Rican was the first culture in that area. Because the Taino Indians were the ones that created what Borinque. It's not even pronounced Boricua. It was Borinque, the actual old Indian name. So if you rep that, then we can talk. But as far as I'm concerned, if you think that everybody in your culture is my complexion and you just feel cool because you can use the N-word, you don't get a pass from me. And I land my plane.
Well, I honestly agree with both of y'all. And I think that it's one of those conversations that until we truly take the power out of that word,
on both sides.
Yeah, no, it's not good people on both sides.
What did he say?
Good people on both sides.
Yeah.
There's the people that use the word. There's people that don't use the word. It's a slippery slope. But I just thought it was a good conversation to have with y'all because we're black people. So apparently we are the gatekeepers to who has the N-word pass. So we can have the discussion. Yeah, we have. We took that word back.
If there's venom, if there's venom to it, then fuck it, smash on sight. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But if you're doing it out of brotherhood, then yeah, fuck it, come on in.
All right, brotherhood.
Yeah, what's up, my honky? We just having a great time. I be hanging from a tree.
White people will never do that because they're evil by nature.
Okay.
Well, then how do you think the same response would be if I walked into Mexico? Because that's literally what is happening here.
Evil by nature.
If I walk into
The whole strain of humanity was born out of scarcity.
No, I can't necessarily say that.
That's how we get in trouble. I think white people are
because there were more
these
historically
are scientific facts. I'm not trying to be like
historically there were more abolitionists than there were, because racism normally comes for the people with money or who are trying to convince poor people that this is your one up. But either way, I understand why you said what you said. I don't want to get in the way of that. But what I'm saying is, imagine me walking into another country. Let's say I go into Mexico. I say, "What's up, wetback? Love you, bro." What you think they're gonna do to me?
They're not gonna like it.
It doesn't even roll off the tongue right. It's weird. What's up, Beaner? My Beaner.
Yo, we're gonna get
like what?
You're using that's a false equivalence. The thing is,
how so? I agree with their struggle. Exactly. Like I walk into some white folks and I'm saying, "What's up, redneck?"
No, that's a false equivalence.
I love you, Joe Bradley.
I expect better from you because you've actually traveled. What I'm trying to say is that when you go to a different country, there are different slang.
Understandable. I'm glad you said that. When I lived in Germany, I never said, "What's up, proud?" I never said that.
Let me finish.
And I didn't expect.
What I'm saying is that the dominant music, and has been for the last 7 to 15 years, it's been hip hop, where the N-bomb is dropped all the time. Even before that, Fat Joe was dropping the N-bomb because he's been a New Yorker and he's been in the struggle. So what I'm trying to say is that the intention is the problem, not the word itself.
Fat Joe is a guest in this house, bro. And I got that concept from you.
He hasn't stepped outside.
Okay. So earlier when I was talking about y'all didn't see what Fat Joe. Okay, so you haven't seen what he did. Okay.
Yeah,
well, after this show, we'll talk about it.
No, but the whole thing is that somebody who has
you're fighting for somebody who does not have your back, sir. And you'll find out after this show.
What I'm trying to say is that Diddy drops the N-bomb all the time, and he's an evil.
He don't got my back.
So exactly. So I'm like, that argument has no weight. What I'm trying to say is that it's somebody who has been in the struggle, does it says the word out of brotherhood, out of intention of brotherhood, I had no problem.
So based on your logic,
everybody could have it. Everybody gets.
Based on your logic, Ukrainians can say the N-word.
Grow up saying that and going through that. No, so no, you can't.
All right, guys.
No, because
this is
one
of them ones.
Y'all make it difficult.
What about Eminem?
See,
Eminem doesn't say it.
Murdered.
What?
That's my point. Eminem doesn't. He doesn't say the N-word. When have you ever heard him say it?
In public.
He did. Yeah, you know what? He did say moon crickets.
You know what?
He did say that.
He has freestyles where he said it.
I know I've heard Eminem use this word before.
Not on his professional work. They have to go back and find it. And you are right. I'm glad y'all said Eminem. You're right. He does have some slick shit that he used to say before he got on. You're right. But on his professional work, you will not
hard R.
Yes, it was.
Very hard.
Yes, it was.
Very hard R.
But again, I'm just simply saying, like, you are looking at the product of slaves.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That too.
I appreciate it.
Product of success.
But it was at least it was before they were stepped on. Like it was the good shit.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't want to stay in that space no more.
I get it, and that.
No, wait. Stop.
No, I get it.
What I'm trying to say is that where do we go? The whole thing is that as long as you understand my struggle and say it, I got you. So that makes it individual to everybody. So there's no blanket pass. The whole
So
thing
you just
is
saying
that
struggling
I don't go-
motherfuckers get the end.
Yeah, if somebody struggle, they get to call me nigga. All right,
So
I get it.
broke,
somebody
broke
who
niggas
struggled,
get
no.
to call me nigga. Okay. I'm with it.
Somebody who struggled in a majority black community.
Well, my question to you is this: 15 years from now, when you look back at this video, you're going to be proud about what you said. If you are, then that's fine.
I don't say anything that I'm not proud to say. I don't.
Okay. All right.
He stands on business.
Even when I do like
Standing
stupid
on
jokes.
Is it not clocking to you that I'm standing on business?
Yeah, 10 toes down. No, I mean Bravo's made some good points. Like I can't, you know, at the end of the day, I understand everything you said, and I understand the compassion behind what you said. But I do have to say, I'm standing 10 toes down on this as far as I'm concerned, and I don't want to speak for everybody. But me,
But the thing is,
I'm not going to be violent. I'm not going.
You have to start every argument as if you're on the other side and figure out why they're saying what they're saying.
No. That is your perspective. I start every argument on my side, or else I wouldn't have an argument. But I get. But but what you said is positive. I understand. Yeah, and it is. But that's how I have to live my life, because most of my life I've lived from the compassionate standpoint of I have to understand everybody's opinion. And then I realized, you know what? If I don't understand fuck that. So what I'm saying is I respect what you said, and in front of all of these people, and you can judge me if you want. That's fine. What I'm saying is in front of all of these people that are watching, in front of everybody that's in this chat right now, what I'm saying is I personally will not start a violent situation, but when someone approaches me feeling that comfortable, okay. But now I'm watching you because I don't feel comfortable enough in your house to disrespect
Like the homie
you.
at the Checkers.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, we have definitely got a
Gone
couple
for
of
like
folks.
3 hours, bro.
Yeah, we went a little longer than we were expected to, and that was really
So
because
did Diddy, man.
The first stream got cut off.
Yo, shout out! I can't talk. I'm deaf. Yo,
Yeah.
that motherfucker's
Well, there's
been
a few
with us.
folks in the chat talking
and I love
about
big women.
talking about Diddy clap Biggie and Tupac. Look,
And Eminem.
and Eminem. Well, you know what?
Why would he clap Biggie, yo? Like that's like, all right, I get it if you swing that way,
How do
but
you
like
get that
Biggie,
asshole on that?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like you would think if you're gonna be one of the guys that likes guys, you would like attractive guys and like fit
I
guys.
see you
I
just
guess.
had to go and explain it, but
I wasn't
Bravo, I
trying
love
to
you,
explain
brother.
it. I'm just
I
saying.
apologize.
Diddy,
I like
was
women.
addicted to buck breaking.
Bravo.
Diddy was addicted to
Bravo.
buck breaking.
No. In front of all these, Bravo, I love you, man. You made some really good points. And I apologize if my thoughts are a little bit different on this, but at no time do I want anybody to not understand. Thank you for the conversation. Love you, bro.
Of course, I love everybody here, but Diddy's addicted not to sex, but to buck breaking.
He's
Diddy
addicted to the power.
Uncle Tom. Diddy is Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's addicted to the power of being able to get people to do stuff they wouldn't normally do.
Yep.
That's just what it is. I don't even think he likes dudes per se. I think he
Christopher
likes
Williams.
Oh no, he likes dudes, bro.
he likes making dudes look and feel powerless.
He likes a lot of dudes per se.
Yeah.
He only likes dudes because that's the heart.
Gross.
That
Yeah,
was
so
pretty
here's
nasty.
the thing. Here's the funny thing about it. Diddy likes straight dudes. He likes the
Yeah, he likes what he
Yeah.
thinks he can't get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Think
most
about that.
guys.
Remember, everybody's seen the clip. Everybody's seen the clip where he's throwing the phone around the office. Anything I want, I must get. I'm a monster.
I'm a savage.
He
Yeah,
warned
yeah.
all of you.
He did.
He told
Yeah,
y'all.
he did.
He told y'all.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I feel like we have definitely dug deep tonight.
On the topic of Diddy fucking.
Yeah. We dug up in Fat Joe's ass for about 20 straight minutes. Joey Crack got
Did we
cracked on
lean
the
back
show
while we
tonight.
did it?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Fat guy dance. He made the fat guy dance popular. So
Yeah,
he gets
the
an N-word
locale
pass for
dance.
that. An N-word. So guys, I gotta close it out because we do have to get out of here. I gotta close up the butt cheeks. No, I'm sorry.
If the war does not keep people up at night, this stream will.
Yeah, this should keep.
Doesn't lie.
Cupid be lying like shit, boy. So anyway,
Unless you give it a try.
Gangsters don't dance. They just throw up their hands.
And they just lean back. Yeah, they lean back. They arch their back. They just lean back. That's what
Yeah,
he
they
does.
did.
Y'all nasty. And y'all in the chat.
Oh, you ain't gonna blame us for this. You
No, it's
invited
the
us
chat.
here.
It's the chat.
do what
It's
you
I
got.
can't talk, I'm deaf. It's Sergeant Private. It's all of y'all. Y'all talking that debauchery in the chat and getting me riled up, and now I'm part of it.
I empathize with your feelings right now, but I don't forgive you for your choice for bringing us here.
Well, you know what? Let's blame,
that was some BS.
Blame the ladies like you did everything else tonight.
Dang.
Let's blame the women.
No.
We
we're
had
not gonna
nothing
do
to do with
I
any
know
of
you
that.
didn't. I know you didn't, dear. You know I wouldn't do that. You know. Anyway, guys, let me give my shouts, and then I gotta get up out of here.
Give a shout out to Genesis because she sat through all of this bullshit.
Yeah, that was a mess.
All of our,
Yes.
all of the goofy.
Yeah.
She knew it. She knew it too. It was
Don't worry.
all the time.
How we get blamed and the only time we was mentioned was with Bonnie. Like, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
right.
Well, it started there, and then we got shut down because of y'all.
Is that gaslighting? Like, what's going on here?
That's
First of all,
gas
you
passing.
remember this show. Yeah, you deserve. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I've been like on reaction mode since. You remember the show? That's
This
awesome.
This was not exactly the intended show, but I know when I bring this powerful panel on, there's no telling where we're gonna end up by the end of the show. So I didn't think we would end up in Fat Joe's ass. I did not think we would end up in Fat Joe's ass.
Man, you put the ass out there, man.
I mean, Fat Joe put his ass out there. And we just,
that's victim blaming, Bricks.
in a box in the middle of the street. We just walked up on him.
Put the ass out there. Who am I not to fuck it?
Yeah, you put your ass out there. I mean,
fucking garage. I'm gonna park my car in it.
Oh my God!
I didn't know you didn't want no weak missiles in your brown starfish.
Everybody,
you didn't say that explicitly.
Let me say this. Everybody that came in the chat after midnight was a different breed. It's a different breed. A whole different breed showed up after midnight. All y'all after midnight people, y'all, I see who y'all are. Y'all are different.
We love
breed.
you.
Hey, I'm glad to have you here.
We gonna see you on TikTok later, nigga.
Yeah.
When I imagine
one thing I gotta say before we close it out. I truly feel honored and blessed to talk to everybody here on this.
Yeah.
But what we really need to do is that
do it naked.
Everybody who's watching right now. everybody who's watching right now. You know what I mean? You know that the media is trying to silence real voices.
Right.
Go to Freeman Services, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, help us fund this movement.
Yes,
because
sir.
what we do is
support what we doing, man. Support.
What we do is
smash
the real
that
shit.
like, subscribe,
And,
everything.
You
All
don't
that
want
shit.
ads every minute. Help us build our own platform so you can just get the real 24/7.
And if you help us out enough, we'll get you an end pass. Okay.
And start selling those.
We're the gatekeepers, so we get to hand them out.
We selling end pass.
Yeah, I got an end pass. I got a couple of them in the stash. You got to earn it though. Gotta go
Oh,
through
you
the
broke.
struggle.
You done been through the struggle.
Right
You gotta
next to the
struggle.
black
If you
cards.
enjoyed the show, cop a shirt, cop a hat.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, nigga.
FreemanSVCS.org/shop. And there should be a link on the bottom part of the screen to the products. Make sure that you support the content. Make sure you support this purge of the BS, because I think we got so much BS out tonight. I need to now eat something because I'm totally.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Too.
Yeah, I
Can you
didn't
take 15 seconds?
expelled.
Can you take 15 seconds to tell them what Freeman Services is about and why it's a .org?
Nah, man, he's gonna take 15 seconds to take away from our drinking time, Bravo. We gotta drink and
No,
talk and laugh,
this
yo.
is real shit. This is real shit, though.
Yeah,
This is
Freeman
real shit.
Services is basically, we are an organization that is dedicated to building fair chance employment opportunities, tech services as far as training for people who are re-entering into society or may have an employment disability, as it would be called. So we need money to do these things in order to meet with these folks, to build these connections. There's a lot of, I hate to say it, but things change hands in order to get people to give you a chance. So we're trying to help people get a chance. So yes, we do all this in fun, but there is actually a point to it all. So thank you, Bravo,
Correct.
for mentioning that, because yeah, a lot of times we forget that we're really here to do something bigger than just sit around here cackling on the internet. But it is fun cackling on.
I take offense to that shit, nigga.
Hey,
Hold on,
you know
hold
what?
on. You Puerto Rican, you can't say that.
Unless you're Puerto Rican, you don't get an impasse around here no more.
Okay, my bad.
Only Puerto Ricans can use
heard
the
you a Puerto
N-word
Rican.
for the remainder of
In this
Pride
chat,
Month.
yeah.
For the remainder of Pride Month, only Puerto Ricans. Okay?
They done been through the struggle.
They've been through the
That's
struggle.
all I got.
All right. So let me
Hey, I
give
love
my
y'all,
shouts.
man. Good night.
Yeah, let me give my shouts out real quick. Shouts out to the folks in the chat. I love big women who stopped through this cool name.
Wow.
Yep, I can't talk. I'm deaf. Apparently, people
We all love
they're
big
just
women. We
using-
just don't say it.
Yeah, they're just using the descriptions of themselves as
It
usernames
depends
now.
on where they're big.
Yeah, I like motorcycles. You know, the kind of shit. Sergeant Private. I don't know what that means, but you get a gong too. So all of my
These military
early folks that
pussies.
came in with the first stream
Sorry.
that came back later, I
PG.
appreciate y'all for coming back. But you know, I have purged immensely tonight, and I would like to go refill my purge bucket so that I can be back and ready for the.
Sounds so. It sounds like you need to disinfect.
I do. After
Do a
all this
detox.
nasty shit we talked about.
You know what? With what you said,
It's
I'm
your
glad I
fault.
stole like 15 hotel towels.
It's true. I did bring the topics.
Yeah.
I did bring all of the BS to you, so I can't be mad.
You
that
brought
it got
all of
purged.
them.
Yeah, I brought it. Okay.
Believe
Well,
you
guys,
did.
if there's nothing else, I want to thank y'all.
No,
for
it ain't nothing else, man.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you
for
for
having me.
joining.
Crazy
Us
podcast.
Shouts to Genesis for holding it down for the ladies tonight. I know I had you up here by yourself, but you,
For sure.
you did a great job.
I had to do something.
You did a
y'all.
great job. You know,
Hey,
'cause
look.
I
But
appreciate
she
it.
did. She did the right thing. She wasn't wrong in anything she said tonight.
Nothing.
This is not me like just being nice. She wasn't wrong with what she said tonight.
None of it.
Well,
like-
she's a
like for
good
real.
lady.
She made us look like some horses' asses. Is
A
what
little
she
bit,
did.
a little bit.
Oh my gosh,
Little
y'all.
bit.
Horses.
Right. Good night, y'all. Say
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Say good night, Hayes.
Well, I'm saying good night. And if anybody who was in this live, that was watching this live and didn't at minimum hit the like button, then that, my friends, is the bullshit. We out.
It is.
I'm out of this one. Time! Pieces, pieces, and pieces. Hold on a second. Music!